welcome to NAPOD, where we provide NA speaker meetings and workshops in a podcast. We are an ad-free podcast, and if you enjoy listening, please help us to be self-supporting by visiting napod.xyz, look for the donate link, and drop $1 or $2 in the virtual basket. If you're also in AA or have friends that are, please tell them about our other podcast, Sobercast. Sobercast features AA speakers and workshops in the same format as NAPOD. We upload a new speaker every day, and it's easy to subscribe by searching for Sobercast, that's 2 words, on any podcast player app, or go to Sobercast.com. Enjoy the podcast, and thanks for listening.
Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tyrone, who's going to share on his experience, strength, and hope on the first step.
Hello, my name is Tyrone, and I'm a grateful recovering addict.
Hi, Tyrone.
I'd like to thank y'all for getting up this morning and coming out. I'd like to thank the convention for asking me to do something in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm very grateful. Thank you. I sit before you now. I stand before you and say that I'm grateful again. You know, I'm up here, I'm nervous. I understand I'm nervous because that's God shaking the truth out of me. Because I lived that life of many lies. I was phony for so long that I didn't know how to be myself. And it caused me a lot of pain in the inside. It states in this first step, we admit that we're powerless over our addiction, that our life had become unmanageable. Well, when I first came to the fellowship, they told me powerless was using against my will. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my will was to kill myself because I was on a suicide mission because I didn't like me. I was mad, even as a kid. You know, so I could get with that powerlessness. You know, it caused me a lot of pain even growing up and as a kid because I didn't have that parent there. The father wasn't there. I didn't get a chance to go to the baseball game. And sometimes it still caused me a lot of pain because I would have loved to went to a baseball game. And see, dealing with the powerlessness, I remember out there in my addiction when I used and I robbed and I stole. I remember even at the age of 9 years old when I was molested and I couldn't tell nobody because he told me he'll kill me. So I had to hold on to that. And the pain was so great that the only way I figured that I could get away from that is I molested a child. And that's what I did. I don't mean no harm. I try not to brag, try not to boast, but I feel sorry for the ones that didn't get up at 8 o'clock this morning. Because I'm grateful to be anywhere where recovery is going on. And the key, I deal with honesty, open mind, willing to change a lot of this bullshit that I have deep down inside me because the pain's still there. I remember even as a kid being molested and molesting a child. I remember at the age of 16, I was drinking. You know, I became an alcoholic at the age of, and alcohol is a drug. They say alcohol is a drug. They say alcohol is a drug. I believe them. And I remember even my first drink at the age of 9 and 10. I became an alcoholic at the age of 13. So I was addicted. I suffered from the disease of addiction at an early age. I remember blowing dope at the age of 13 and 14 and trying to pay people to be my friends because I didn't think I looked good. I'm very emotional, so you might see some tears. You're going to see some tears because I'm grateful for my life because sometimes I figure that I should have been dead. Sometimes I don't understand why God saved my life. So I keep coming to these rooms and I keep telling on myself because I get tired of hurting. You know, I thought that once drugs was gone, that I was going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that they state that drugs and alcohol is just a symptom of my disease. I was sick even before I started using. Ooh, wee. So I tell any of y'all, help me. Help me grow up. It ain't no such thing as no big eyes and little U's around here. We grow together or we grow apart. But even as that kid being molesting the child and couldn't tell nobody because even today sometimes I close my eyes and I still can see me being molested. At the age of 17, I almost caught a rape case. For the new member, if you ever get a chance to share on any steps or get a chance to share, period, tell your story. Tell what you're going through in the inside because this is an inside job, not an out end. And at the age of 17, I almost caught a rape case. But my mother bought the case. And sometimes I don't understand why she bought the case, because she was bitches and hoes to me if she didn't give me what I want. I'm grateful today to say that my mom, she got 5 years. I'm grateful to say before I came to this convention, my grandma, who 82, just went in treatment. And my behavior wanted to tell me, ooh, grandma, nah, don't you see what I went through? Because grandma been in treatment twice. And she came out because she figured because she 82 and she had lived a life that she can continue to do those things. But it's a funny thing. Once you get a belly full of this, and don't mix, it won't rock up. So I'm grateful for Narcotics Anonymous. I'm grateful to be anywhere in the spirit of recovery. I'm grateful that I don't have to be on those streets no more. See, I remember, even though it's 8 years down the line in recovery, I remember the vacant fields. I remember walking those streets. I remember turning the trick, and the only thing I didn't do out there was take it in the butt, and I had put a yet on that, fucking with that cocaine, that Wild Irish Rose, them Tylenol foes, just take all of me. So it wasn't no joke getting up in here. So when somebody asks me to share, I ask God to use me. I say, God, if you take the desire to use away from me, I'll do your will. Yes, I'm powerless, and my life is unmanageable. Still, in certain areas. It's powerless. We've been through powerless of our addiction that our lives have become unmanageable. Well, how was I powerless? I was powerless that day. I said, after turning those tricks or doing whatever it took to get those drugs, I said I wasn't getting high no more. Don't come out of my house. I'm tired of using. Somebody knock on the door. I said, who is it? He said, Bob, I got one. I said, come on in. Where you been? That was the powerless for me. The unmanageability for me was getting that welfare check and say I'm going to a little Woodworth or a cheap store just to buy me a pair of drawers. Because I had worn them drawers for 30 days because I didn't believe in taking no bath. The bath I knew was put some water in the bowl. I'm straight. Ready to go. I got to go get one. At all costs, no matter what it took. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. By who? You know, I live to use and use to live. Makes me an addict. The unmanageability, I said I was going to get that check and I was going to get that check and buy me at least a pair of drawers because I was on welfare because I wouldn't work. You know, I was a moocher. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get anything I can. You know what I'm saying? I robbed and I stole, but I robbed and I stole from my grandma because I knew they wasn't going to kill me. I robbed and stole from my grandma and my mama, but I paid y'all to be my friend. I ain't got to pay nobody to be my friend. I got some self-esteem. I got some self-worth. I'm somebody. I'm a winning Narcotics Anonymous, and y'all can't take that away from me. No matter what mistakes I make. But the unmanageability part, before that mailman started coming down the street, my stomach got to, like I was farting all on myself, like I was about to shit on myself, because I was getting bold, because I wanted just one more. So when I got that check, I didn't make it to those places to buy them drawers or a pair of socks anymore. So I had to wear those drawers another 30 or 40 days. Till they had rings around. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all don't believe me? Check yourself. You might have on a pair this morning. Because I was grateful when I got when y'all prayed me up in here. Because some of us, we just didn't walk up in here. We was prayed up in there through that serenity prayer. You know what I'm saying? And y'all need to know that everybody in this room is a miracle. And what you choose to do with your miracle is on you. We are some of the chosen ones, so you need to act like it. We can tell we chose because we tried to kill ourselves, but our higher power, who y'all choose to call, whatever y'all, I just choose to call mine Lord Jesus because it's power in his name. And I know that this is not a religious program. It's spiritual. God is I understand. I just choose to call mine Lord Jesus because I pity you picked that wall for your higher power. And that wall happened to crumble. That's why they suggest that you make 90 meetings in 90 days. If that sounds like a bit too complicated, just try a meeting a day. They tell you to make 90 meetings in 90 days. Just why? Just to make 91. Just to make 92. Just to build you a foundation, because guess what? We would not be sitting here if it wasn't for a foundation. So I'm grateful this morning. Someone asked me to share. I don't know, but I couldn't wait. I must get down and say, oh, I hope that guy don't show up. Because today I'm not sharing out my neck. Today I got something to share through Narcotics Anonymous. It says here, staying clean must come first. I remember dealing with this. It doesn't matter how much you use. In Narcotics Anonymous, staying clean has to come first. We realize that we cannot use drugs and live. When we admit our apologies, our inability to manage our own life, we open the door to recovery. No one could have convinced us that we was at. I was beat down. I've been to prisons. I went almost blind smoking. I remember I went to the doctor and I said, I can't see. He said, how many of this? I said, 3. He said, your eyelids froze. My eyelids were froze from smoking some bold dope. I didn't stop there. I went home and I smoked again. And I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. Do you remember? Was it really that bad for you? Are you powerless? You know what I'm saying? What area are you powerless and unmanaged in? If not, you better check yourself before you leave this convention. You better get with it. You just ain't the yellow brick road. You better get with this shit. Snow White, that shit is on TV. Fairy tale! In them little books we used to read. So you better get with yourself while you're at this convention, because I know if y'all anything like me, I come here to get something. I come here to rob y'all, because I want to learn something, because I want to carry back to Detroit. You know, again, I want to be able to come back. I want y'all to be able to say, I want him to come back to Indiana. I want to come back. I want to be able to go back home and say, look, I've been to Indiana. That's what I want to say. I want to still stay excited. I still want to stay excited about my recovery. You know what I'm saying? I still want this thing because I'm so grateful. I still want this thing to continue to go, even though I'm problems over situations people, places, and things. Well, how did I know that? Because I came to this fellowship and I got a little piece of pussy and I said I do. I got married. Didn't know anything about love. I got married because it was the right thing to do. If y'all was anything like me, I was so grateful that I wasn't using anymore. I was so grateful that I wasn't using anymore. Because it was just that bad. Some of us come around and we forget how bad it really was. Do you remember? How do? It wasn't that easy for me to get here, so I guess I'll stay here. Help me with y'all. See, it comes a time when I'm doing a presentation that I have to get real deep down inside because, you know, in 4 days, it'll be a year since my wife left here. And I'm lonely. I wish you'd have stayed here. But sometimes, for someone to live, somebody got to die. Ooh. So I got with this girl in recovery about 5 years ago, and we set goals. She had kids that somebody else had. We got those kids back. She helped me like my mama did not help me. She taught me how to love. She told me how to get out myself and give y'all some of this shit that was so freely gave to me. She taught me how to deal with the pain, the anger, the envy, the want what you want when you want it, because I ain't never had enough of nothing. When I die, I just wanted to be high. Y'all don't let me go past time, because they got to share. But I had to deal with that. So about 3 years ago, cancer came. And when the cancer came, it went away. And I was grateful that it went away. It went in remission. The doctor never said it'll go away. But a year ago, it came back. And when it came back, it went from my cervix all the way back to my spine. We set some goals. Instead of those goals, she always wanted a home besides getting the kids back. She wanted a home, the dream home, with a swimming pool and all that. See, I work for God. I don't work for man. So I got with my higher power, who I choose to call Jesus, because his power in his name. And see, I'm grateful to know that I'm still powerless over what God has done. You know, I thought God had took her away because maybe I cheated in my marriage. That I wasn't worthy of her. But we got together and we laid in the bed, and because I came in the fellowship, I could not read or write. I was illiterate. But I learned how to spell A-N-D-T-H-E. I said it every time I do a presentation. I say that because I learned how to read. I went for my GED 7 times, and I just didn't stop there. Next thing I knew, I was walking through college. So you cannot tell me that you cannot be successful through Narcotics Anonymous. You must use Narcotics Anonymous and try not to leave out here on a religious zeal. Even though I understand that I have God in my life, and I believe that sometimes that I'm called to be off into the ministry, but the only ministry I know right now is through Narcotics Anonymous, helping my brothers in the prison, the homeless shelter, the murderers, the rapists, the child molesters. Because I don't call them out. I give them another chance because somebody saved me. Somebody spared my life, so I give them another chance. So I don't care what you did. It's help for you. Rape, murder, child molestation. I don't care. It's help for you. You know what I'm saying? It's help for you. But through me being powerless, my wife got real sick on that bed. I had to go through hospice in the Cancer Society. I saw her die. I saw the transformation. I thought her where she said she hated everybody until she told me to bring some oil to her and she healed her body. It's power, y'all. It's power in these 12 steps. If you don't think it's power in these 12 steps and 12 traditions, why are we staying clean today? Because it's power in these steps. And if you use them, your life will be very successful. If you don't, you'll be fucked up. If you don't get with the powers and unmanageability, see, and dealing with this first step with me, with powers over our addiction, our life, every come back. Well, the first thing I had to do was admit that I had a problem. The second thing I had to do is experience the pain of that problem. So not only did I have to admit, I had to accept it. Along with acceptance comes surrender. Surrender means that the war is over, that no longer did I use drugs. Drugs use me. So he told me the first thing we have to do is recognize that we have a problem. Accept it. Then you have to go back and deal and feel. You have to feel some of these emotions. You have to dig deep down inside. You have to share about what you've been through. You have to share about the molestation, the homosexual, whatever you may be going through. You have to share about the rape case. You have to share about how you feel. You have to share about having a kid and really don't want the responsibility. You have to share about you might have a kid in foster care and you don't want that little motherfucker. Yes! You got to share that. You have to share that you might be in a marriage and you want to get out. And they tell you around here, don't let nobody tell you that you got to get out of a wet relationship. Only if it becomes detrimental to you. Drop it like a bad habit. Because recovery should come first, no matter what. Recovery come over my kid, over my mama, my grandma, because I didn't give a fuck about them when I was out there using. So I know recovery got to come first. Because the only way I can give some love to them is y'all give it to me and y'all teach me how to love. See, today I just like myself. I don't love me yet. I'm learning how to do this. This is after 8 years part of Narcotics Anonymous. I don't love me. I just like me a lot today because I still cut the ass-kicking machine and beat me down. I still don't like my behaviors, you know. It's like God took my wife away from me and now today I'm single. You know what I'm saying? I'm single and I'm suffering from the disease of addiction still because I still have to deal with the character defect and lust. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I could get away from that even through Narcotics Anonymous. I said, oh, I'm going to go over to church. I went up in church. I've been bam a little bit, boom. Because you got to remember, people are fascinated that ain't using. People are fascinated by our message. So I have to really apply these steps in my life that right now, the best thing for me is just to practice abstinence. You know, abstinence. I said, yeah, because I asked somebody, I said, what's the difference between abstinence and celibacy? Well, it said celibacy is such as a religious term. You know what I'm saying? I said, what's the difference? Dig this. I said, what's the difference between abstinence and celibacy? Well, the difference between abstinence and celibacy is that, y'all gonna laugh about this one. The difference between abstinence and celibacy is such a religious thing. Celibacy is when you don't do nothing. Abstinence, you're allowed to play with yourself. That's the worst, that's the weirdest shit I ever heard in my entire life. You know, I say that because we have a plaque that I don't hardly see no more, and the plaque says, God, teach us to laugh again, but never let us forget that we cried. See, I don't never want to forget where I come from, y'all. You know, I'm grateful to understand that, yes, I'm powerless in some areas. My life is still unmanageable. But I must say to y'all that I'm a very successful person. You know what I'm saying? And it's more than just not using, because I'm not using today. You know what I'm saying? I'm better. You know, I try to help people. You know, not try. I help people. I have sponsorees. You know what I'm saying? I have a sponsor that I get with. I'm doing the best I can just for the day. You know, I work to be a productive member of society, what I always want to do. I pay my house note and my car note. Even though social acceptability doesn't equal recovery. For y'all. No, just kidding. And I'm grateful to know that I have to continue to go to the meetings. And it's a pleasure. Y'all need to know that it's a pleasure to go to meetings. It's an honor to go to meetings to see that the door is still open for us. You know, and I'm so glad that I serve an unfair God. My God is not fair. Because if he was fair, I'd have got everything that I deserve. So he's an unfair God. And I'm grateful that he put Narcotics Anonymous in because he knew I just couldn't do one. Seemed like y'all can't either. Y'all sitting up in here. And I'm grateful. You know, my time is about up. And I'm grateful that he asked me to just come up here and share, because I could go on this step here. I want to dissect it, take it loose and all that, but we don't have all the answers. Some days it's just better than others. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better enjoy this convention. It's only one more day left.
All right.
Better get with somebody, grab your corner, and talk about what you're going through, because I see the pain. You hurt real bad. I see it. I was like, ooh, don't point at me. You know I'm going through something. But I'm grateful that he asked me to come, share my experience, strength, and hope. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. I'll see y'all around this convention. Do not judge me if you see me talking to a young lady and I'm flirting or something. Let me enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's okay to flirt. You understand? Because I got friends that didn't use protection that died from AIDS. And I have to share that. Because knowing that, even if I had sex, would I use a condom? Probably no. Don't get too honest up in here. Don't run them up out of here. And I see some people out there saying, me too. That's a powerful message. I love y'all. Y'all see me out there in the hallway, give me a hug. I need that. Give me love. Give me love. Give me love. That's what I want. If you can't help me, don't put me down. If you see me falling, pick me up. Lend me a hand. You know what I'm saying? Because we need each other. See, we need to grab on to some of them peoples out there that come back in the fellowship that might be trying to slang dope or got those character defects. Grab a hold to them and tell them that we love you, that God, just put fear in them. Tell them, say, God took the desire to use, and you mean you going to sell some poison to somebody? What God done took from you, you going to sell it back to him? You in trouble, homie. He ain't going to mess with you no more. Or she won't mess with you no more. She be like, I'm staying away from him. He tell me the truth. Because we don't have to use today. We don't have to sell dope in this fellowship to be successful. You know what I'm saying? It states in the step one, what goes right along with step one in closing, what goes right along with step one is tradition one, which states our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on inner unity. Meaning that the only way you can the only way you can keep what you got is by giving it away. What was so freely gave to you, give back. Mama said it'll be days like this. These are those days. So grow up, will you? Grow up. It's that time, y'all. As I take my seat, as I sit down, as I'm grateful to stand up here. See, I have to sit down now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a part when I get ready to close or I'm doing a presentation, I feel and this is not a religious program, it's just spiritual as you understand it, but I feel the Holy Spirit take over my body through Narcotics Anonymous because some spirituality goes on in here. If you ain't got none, I suggest you get some. It's something that happens to you when you're doing a presentation. If you're getting honest with yourself, God will use you. You'll do a talk and you won't know. You have to go by the tape to see what you just said. Because you won't know what you just said. And it's like for me, as I continue to go to these meetings, and I've learned that out of 24 hours in a day, if you can spend 1 hour at some tables, it will make the other 23 much easier to deal with. Thank you for letting me share, y'all.
Thanks for sharing.
Ruby. You want to come over here?
Hi everybody, I'm an addict. My name is Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
And I'm gonna sit in front of you all. Man, I tell you, you're a very strong spiritual speaker. And I don't need to take my protein today. I feel real pumped up. I thank you, thank you for what you shared today. Talking from the heart, that's what we need to do. And I'm not a speaker from Narcotics Anonymous, but I want to speak for myself. I need to come here to build a foundation. In the old reading it says that as stronger and wider the foundation is going to be, the highest the point of freedom we're going to reach. I have many, many freedoms today, little freedoms, things that I couldn't have in the past. The first step leaves us with a need to believe in something. The second step is a chain reaction. That's the way that I understand it. We got to do everything here in Narcotics Anonymous, being honest, open-minded, and willing. Now, I believe that every addict that walks into this meeting or any NA meeting, if he's using or not using, is displaying a certain level of willingness. Because he's here, he's coming. He took this action, the mental and the physical, and is here. Now, after admitting our powerlessness in the first step, the uselessness, the helplessness, all those things that we had in our past, and we became ready to start the second step, we need to fill this void, like the basic test says, with something else, something that we never had. And I tell you, when I got to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I needed a hug, I needed somebody to tell me that he loves me, that he tells me it's going to be okay. Because I was in pain. I came here not because I wanted to stop using. I came here because I was hurting real bad inside. I was empty. I lost my values. I was dead inside already. Mental, spiritual, I was dead. I felt like a big zero. So when I came to the rooms and you all gave me those hugs and tell me that it's going to be okay and shared my story, I knew that I found Narcotics Anonymous. I knew that I'm in the right place. I'm at home. I had a strong desire to get clean after I started working the first step, because I started to look at the results. Now, how can you trust if you can't believe, or vice versa? How you can believe if you can't trust? And I learned that everything starts with me. I'm here for me, and everything starts with me. I gotta get honest with myself in order to be honest with other people here. I gotta know how to learn to love myself before I can love other people. And being for real with all those things. So looking at the results gave me hope. And that's what the message is, hope. Now, I never had higher power in my life. I never had God. The only time that I needed God or a lawyer was when I got busted. And I prayed before I went to court, When I was in trouble, I prayed for God to help me, to get out. Please, only this time, I'll be good, Getting clean, we need to do only once. Staying clean is harder. I believe that recovery is a personal decision. Nobody else can do it for us. And when I made this decision to stand up for myself and do what Ruby got to do for him, I made a decision to give myself a break, I didn't want to cut myself short anymore, because I did it in the past. I used to come to the rooms, and I got out. I went out and used several times. And these questions is in my mind many, many times. Many times I ask myself, why do we do that? Why do we go back out? And I ask so many addicts. I ask professors and doctors, my wife, people all over the world. I went to convention in Israel, in Japan, in Australia, Germany. And I'm asking people those questions. And I believe there's only one answer. After I heard all those people, they said, well, we all have tolerance for drugs. We also have tolerance for pain. And when the pain gets stronger than the fear of change, then when we became willing to change. Because we need pain. We need to be hurt real bad to take a good look at ourselves. And fear is for me the inability to control everything and everybody around me. Because I just can't see my life without fulfilling all my urges and desires, I have one disease, that have many, many symptoms. I love driving fast. I love gambling. I love credit cards. I love spending money. Drugs is only the symptom. The problem is inside. So I got up one day and I made a decision to fix me inside. Now, the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous is a spiritual program. We cannot work it without a higher power, without to believe that we can do it. Because I remember several times I went to job interviews and then I said to myself, well, I'm not good enough. I never got there. So I learned that when I'm cutting myself short and I'm telling myself that I'm not good enough or I'm not capable to do certain things, I'm not going to do them. I cut myself off spiritually. I'm losing this energy, this motivation to go for it. Coming to believe in a higher power, or in a power greater than myself, wasn't easy. Because I couldn't understand it in the beginning. I came to the rooms, I started to work the first step, I got a sponsor, and I wanted to go on faster. So I asked my sponsor, where do I get this contact with the higher power? How do I find that I have a God? And he said, you'll find it. Will take time. You'll find it. And I did. Now, it's a spiritual program. And spirituality is probably the strongest tool that we have here to fight and understand our disease of addiction. Because it's not about only one bad habit that we had, or we have. It's about life. And everything that we learn in this room we take outside. We have to. The process of coming to believe, for me, filled this void inside. When I started to look at the result and see that things are really working in my life, because I'm doing different things this time, I started to calm down, because when I came here I was very hyperactive. I could hear you, but it was hard for me to listen because my head was still downtown, you know. And I just started to feel better. I started to feel spiritual. I started to understand that I'm not the only one that have this problem. And with the help of you all, I found my higher power. And this higher power was in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. This higher power was the group, the meetings, the hugs. That's what it was for me. And it just gave me energy to come back again and again and again. I brought myself to enough meetings, and my mind followed, you know. I made this 91 and 92, you know, because I needed it. I need those meetings for the maintenance. Now, when I was using, I was insane. I did insane things. I repeated those mistakes over and over again. Now, I was powerless. And I can understand that. But today, if I'm making a decision to stand up for myself, you know, I gotta make a commitment to myself that I'm gonna do the best of my ability to stand up and not to kneel in front of this disease. So, restoration to sanity is a process. It's a process as long as we gonna make it a process. Because like other people, you know, when they use they progress fast or slow. That's how recovery works for other people. It's like you can work it or you can rest and watch it, you know. So I'm not insane like I used to be. I feel much stronger in my recovery and in my life. I'm trying to share the message with people at work. I learn how to communicate. I learn how to do many, many things in my life today. And this process that restores me to sanity also gives me the strength to start trusting in other people. Trusting in myself and other people. Trusting in the process. And it just gives me great strength to carry on. And I want to thank everybody for letting me share.
I'm an addict. My name's Kurt.
Hey, Kurt.
Really grateful to be here. All I can share is my experience with the third step, and I will start off by saying that if it hadn't been for the grace of my higher power, the sponsor that I have, the strength of the fellowship where I come from, that allowed me to build the foundation that I built, working the first, and the second, and the third step, I wouldn't be here today. Because, when I came around here, people have been telling me for years I had a drug problem. And when I got here, y'all said, you don't have to use drugs anymore. And you taught me how to stay clean. But what I didn't understand, and I don't know how many of us do when we first come around, like everybody's talked about, is that drugs weren't my problem. My problem was me. And, man, that's a tough one. Because I figured once I got clean, that was all she wrote. And life can be awfully difficult at times. The only thing that has kept me around and allowed me to continue to go on is my belief that it's going to be okay. And I didn't get that, from something I thought of. It comes to me from the first 3 steps. Because like Tyrone was talking about, man, that's a rude awakening, finding out that I'm powerless. And not just powerless over drugs, powerless over my wife, my kids, you people, my job. First couple times I tried it, I didn't get there because you know what? The fear of doing the 4-step pushed me back. And I'm like, terrified because nature of my beast is self-centered fear. Controlled everything that I did. Everything. And I'd come off thinking I got this bumping 3rd step going on. And my sponsor said, well, write something on the 4th step, and I'd be going, I was talking to somebody earlier this morning and said one of my solutions was, I'll quit smoking instead. And I'll do that 4th step. Well, I'll do that 4th step right after this, and see, the problem was I hadn't done a 3rd step right. Because it wasn't about just giving a lip service. Well, I made the decision. Man, that's nice. I was bullshitting myself. I had to go all the way back, get honest with myself that I'm powerless over this disease and it's kicking my ass, and that the only hope I have is turning it over to the care of God and my understanding. But see, I was afraid. What was that God going to do with it? What kind of a yutz was I going to be when I came out on the other side? Probably would have no sense of humor. Probably wouldn't be able to cut on nobody. Probably be the most boring little Bible-toting, know-nothing son of a gun you'd ever want to meet. I said, oh, man. See, I was afraid. You know how my mind can just go off to the races. Oh, yeah, but if you do that, fear was kicking my ass again. I was afraid. Because the 3rd step for me is, like I said, about changing everything. Because I know nothing about life. And that's what we deal with in Narcotics Anonymous. Life. And so if I don't know anything, that means I got to learn everything. Right? Well, that's an overwhelming task. Right? But see, the thing is, I don't have to do it myself. The text says, you just make the decision to take care of the footwork. God will take care of the rest. You know, and of course, being the good addict that I am, I want to sit back and say, well, I'll go to the meetings and I'll read the text and I'll share and I'll maybe God will pay the rent check. You know, because I'm looking for any excuse to justify that I don't have to go through this pain. I don't have to do. My biggest fears were doing something different. You know, yeah, my life's shit, but I'm comfortable with it. I know what I'm going to get. I'll do this. I'll be miserable, and everybody will be happy. You know what I mean? That's what I'd always done. And to do something different scared the living hell out of me. What was going to happen? Like Ruby said, the pain got to be so much. Just like when I came crawling into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, the pain was so much it got to be, okay, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Let's do it. And I didn't get all caught up in, well, is this my will, is this God's will? Because I know down in my gut when I'm doing the right thing. It's just a matter of learning how to listen to that. My God talks to me through you people. And I was put off by that God word. You know, I ain't turning my life with the God I grew up with. He'll strike me dead as soon as I make that decision. You know, but you people say, no, it don't have to be like that, Kurt. It's a real personal thing. You find the God of your understanding. One that you're comfortable with. One that already loves you. Not one that you got to prove yourself to. One that you're comfortable with. And it's a process. Third step is still going on for me today. I don't get all caught up in that, well, I took my life back today, but all I know, and let me say this, spirituality to me, and this is the way it was explained to me by my sponsor, is nothing more than seeking a relationship with my higher power. Period. That's all it is. Because we talk a lot about spirituality. And if you're all like me, you're all nodding, yeah, they're going, I don't have any fucking idea what they're talking about. You know? Spirituality is a real simple thing. Seeking a relationship with the God of my understanding. And all this other stuff is the way that we go about doing it. Because we don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. And, like I said, it's an ongoing thing for me today. It's a process. It's not a place that I get to. It's not a destination I can reach. The third step has never been something for me I can say, yeah, I did that. I'm done. You know, every day. And this is through, you know, don't get me wrong. I've been around for a little while, and I've done it wrong. I've said I'm finished with the third step. I don't need to turn my will and my life over anymore because I've done that. Been there, did that, it's over. And guess what? I went back to the same old stuff. Never picked up any dope, but became a miserable, no good, rotten individual. Because like Tyrone was saying, I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was worthy of love. Pushed you people away because I didn't want your love. Because, you know, I didn't think I deserved it. And so I had to get it through my head that I wasn't done with the third step. That I had to continue to keep the focus on the fact that I'm not in control. And there's only one thing that's going to help me with my disease, and that's the God of my understanding. So every day, without fail, down on my gimpy knees, I go. And stay there until I realize that I'm conscious of what I'm doing. You know, because I fall in that trap, man, I'm running late for work, down on my knees, see you later, guy. That's bullshit. I've got to make that conscious effort to be in touch every day. Every day I read something. In the morning, before I have a chance to fuck the day all up, to get my priorities straight. Who's in control? And it ain't me. Every day, first thing in the morning, before I have a chance for my disease to take over and let fear ruin the day, I say, God, thank you for getting me up. Let's see what we can do today. You know, some days it's a lot more than that. Some days it's a little bit less than that. But every day it has to be that way for me. Because the third step never ends. Unfortunately for this addict, it's not automatic. You know? I've been blessed with having the obsession to use drugs removed from my life, but I've not been blessed to the point where that conscious contact is automatic. I got to work at this thing. And it is an ongoing process. I don't believe I'll ever be there. You know what I mean? But the journey, man, the journey is sweet. The journey is sweet. I do love myself today. I've worked hard to get to the point where the first time I could look myself dead in the eye in the mirror and say, Kurt, you're okay, and I love you. I cried like a baby. I've worked hard to stay in that frame of mind because my disease wants to take it from me. My disease wants to run my life and ruin me. And the only thing that keeps that from happening is the effort that I put into keeping my life in God's hands. It's hard work sometimes.
Yes.
Life is full of pain. I was one of them people that I thought, once I got this recovery thing down, man, I wasn't going to be feeling no more pain. I was going to be happy-go-lucky all the time. And no. Life's not like that. But, with the help of the God of my understanding, who I believe works through you people, I can deal with it. It doesn't have to kick my butt. I can overcome the fear. The fear's still there. Man, I start getting into a little bit of pain. I want to run. I want to take off. I don't want to tell you all about it. My disease tells me just get in the car. My daughter told me that. We was out running from one bank to another trying to get the bills paid and this and that and the other. And she said, Dad, don't sometimes you just want to take off, keep going, not come back? I said, man. If you only knew, hon. But I told her, I said, Dad, sometimes I do. That's just not the answer. You can run, but you just can't hide. And that's why I know it's not just me. Other people have problems in life, but us addicts. Oh man, they did it to me again. They got the deck stacked against me. It's not fair. Why me? I'm clean. I'm trying to do the right thing. I shouldn't have to go through. And then my disease says, yeah, you see, you shouldn't be feeling that way. You've been clean a long time. Oh, no, you should be. And if I listen to that, it makes sense. If I kick it out to you people, you go, oh, man, Kurt, you know the gig. It's all right. You'll be okay. Hang in there, man. We love you. And then, when it's out in the open, it's like, yeah. It hurts. Sharing that pain with people makes it okay. I don't have to run from that anymore. But that's only as long as I'm, in focus. As long as I realize that I got to put my life in my God's hands. But you know what? By doing that, it's a tremendous freedom because I'm never alone anymore. And deep down in the core of my being, no matter what kind of shit life throws up, somewhere down inside, I know that it's going to be okay. As long as I continue to follow the process that Narcotics Anonymous has laid out for me. My responsibility is to do the footwork. Whatever it takes. And it changes as the years go by. Sometimes I have to do more of this, sometimes less of that. It's constantly changing, man. That's life. But it's always focused on a program of Narcotics Anonymous. As long as I do that, can't nothing touch me. Like you said, none of you motherfuckers can take it away from me. I'm the only one that can give it away. And I'm not talking about giving away recovery. I'm talking about just throwing away the life that I've been given. And, we want to make it a big, complicated gig, and we want to say, well, yeah, my sponsor, boy, don't say nothing about you trying.
Ooh, yeah. Yes.
He says, trying's dying, babe. Get the fuck off your ass and do it.
Yeah.
He says, Kurt, you're either in the process, the solution, or you're fucking up. There ain't no in between. Ain't no, well, I'm trying to do this. Doesn't work like that for me. Because what we're talking about here, we're talking about recovery. We're not talking about just abstinence. And there's a big difference. And I'm not knocking anybody's gigs. Some people are happy with abstinence, man. Been clean for a lot of years. Just ain't got no recovery. For me, there's just too much out there. There's too many gifts. I do have the freedom to go to somebody and say, man, I love you. And mean it. And to let them love me. I love you too, Kurt. I wouldn't be here right now because I'm from Baltimore. Well, thereabouts. Don't like to be classified as being from Baltimore as such. But, and I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the people in my life that love me. Just too much shit going on, you know? Couldn't get here. But somebody said, man, I want you to be there. I want you to be there. And that's the only reason I'm here. And that's what the third step has done for me, is given me that ability to do it differently. To trust in something greater than myself. To turn my life over and let the chips fly where they will. And it scares me. It scares me to sit up and bunch in front of people because gotta be honest, I had no concept I was going to have to come out here and share. I'm coming out here to hear my buddies share and have a good time at the convention. He says, man, I told you about this. And I was like, damn, you probably did. I just don't remember. I was like, shit, I'm not emotionally prepared for this. So early this morning, I'm up reading through the book, right? Well, let me refresh my memory. And I'm reading all that stuff, and I said, you can't explain this to somebody that hadn't been there. You can't tell them what it's like. That book has got page and page and page trying to explain what it's like to have the third step in your life and all the gifts that it gives you and the freedom that you get. And I'm reading through that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but if somebody ain't experienced this, it's dumb and shit. They're like bullshit because I didn't believe it. Y'all told me, Kurt, we're talking about freedom from active addiction. Not using dope, not just, freedom from active addiction is not talking about not using dope. It's so much more. It's watching the sunrise and just being in awe of it. It's going up to somebody you don't know with my disease want to put me in my head and all these people around there all laughing and having fun. I'm like, yeah. And when I get like that, going up to somebody and say, hi, I'm Kurt, I'm an addict, getting a hug. Say, how you doing? It's going up to somebody that you know, and they smiling, and you say, how you doing? And they say, I'm fine. And you look in their eyes, and you say, that's bullshit. What's up? And they get that feeling that you care, and that you're not going to be put off by their disease, that you just want to help. It's talking with an addict till the wee hours of the morning about real stuff, feeling that connection. It's about, say this and I'll open the meeting up, as my sponsor puts it. And as you can tell, my sponsor is a very, very, very important person in my life, simply because he saved my life so many times. And he said, third step is where we begin to learn to put God between us and everything else. Because see, with God running buffer between me and everything else, ain't nothing to it. It's a real simple concept. It's just a little tough putting it into application. Easy to know up here, hard to move it down to here. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Who wants to share? Come on now.
Come on down.
My name's Steve. I'm Maddie.
Hi, Steve.
Well, I'd just like to step and say, first of all, I'd like to thank God, my higher power, for allowing me to be part of this convention. This is my first convention. Right? It's all about the grace of God that I'm here today. I can remember many nights when I was out there in my active addiction. I got introduced to Narcotics Anonymous. One thing I like to say about Narcotics Anonymous, this program really do works, man. And it's, it just overwhelmed me to see how much it is working today. Living well, the proof of it. Today, when I first got introduced to Narcotics Anonymous, I wasn't really serious. I came in these rooms, I said, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know what I'm been through. You know, and I had an attitude for a long time and relapsed, you know. But one thing about Narcotics Anonymous is done for me, I'm a hard-headed individual. And it took me a long time to get this shit, you know. One thing Narcotics Anonymous done for me is trying to see to me. And it's thick-headed, man, trying to see to me. I remember many times that when I was out there using drugs, and like I said, these are such a kind of energy, man. It conjures you in any form, areas, and ways, man. I remember some times when I was in my condition, and I'm sitting there getting high, and it's like I said, keep coming back. I think all these people, Narcotics Anonymous. I think the people in Narcotics Anonymous, they kept saying, keep coming back. Then my addiction kicked in and said, it works if you like it. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting high on the motherfucker, thinking all this shit, man. My head was just total spin, man. I was so fucked up, man, behind it, man. I left out of there, man, and I don't know, I'm gonna be something else, some other crazy shit, but I know one thing today that this program really works. You know, and I reflect back on the times when I used to go to my meetings, right? I used to go to meetings all the time. I started getting cocky, stated in the book. This book is about the best book they ever made. Anything in this world is about the best book they can make. And I was reading this book, and it started talking on some of the things I experienced, some things I went through. You know, I had a few weeks clean, and I got a big head. I said, oh shit, I can stop going this week, now I can slack up. You know, and I started doing that. Gradually, I was back into the active position. Gradually. You know, I remember going to a crack house. I had a little, when we first come in, to get a little white pamphlet book. And I came inside the crack house with this book, preaching. Ain't y'all tired yet? Hey, I know some people, they get y'all together. I'm in the crack house preaching all this, and everybody looking at me like, what's wrong with this fool? What are you talking about? You know? And a day later, I was back in the inactive position. Down there, let me go get a 20. Like, they ain't gonna deny it, they gonna get high too, right? Some old sick shit, man. And, you know, after coming to Narcotics Anonymous, this shit finally clicked in, you know. And like Curtis kept saying, man, I had to turn my will, my life over to catch out. Cause I done tried every damn thing, yeah. I done tried. The doctors couldn't get the shit to me. I done been to jail. I got penitentiary enough. They couldn't give the shit to me. I said, well, shit, I'm tired of going through this pain and misery. Why don't I just try this shit, see if it can work? You know, once the act told me, said, man, try this program. And if you don't like it, kill your ass back out there, continue to kill yourself. You know, I can remember the times, you know, what's the sanity part about this addiction is, you know something is kicking your ass and you won't support this shit. You want to keep on going through the same, that's insanity. I remember some days when I was so fucked up. I didn't even like myself no more. I really wanted to die, you know, and I used to walk down, going down, steal shit down in the store and shit. I didn't even want to see myself in the mirror. Can you imagine walking downtown and all the damn glasses down there, you trying to hide your face? I bumped into every damn pole that was downtown before I got to where I was going. You know, I despise myself, I didn't like myself. How can I do this to myself? All that self-pity on that shit to sit in. I'm not doing nothing about it, you know, and that shit just kept balling and kept getting tighter and thinner. I was ready to explode, man. I had to get that shit out, man. Only way I could get that shit out was being a part of, I remember the Narcotics Anonymous, man, because I know today, if it wasn't by the grace of God, man, I wouldn't be here today. I remember the days when I had guns pointed on me, my brother got shot next to me. You know, I had a car accident a while back. Let me tell you about this car accident I had. My God is a forgiving God. You know, this day when I was out there using heavy, I had went and stole a whole bunch of shit. I hit a bed truck. I had all kind of shit, man. I was on my way out my sister's house and I was on 10 speed. I was riding out there midnight. It was midnight. Car came, man, from another direction. And you know, like I said, I was going through this light. That's the only thing I was thinking about, going through this light. Even out there, I had 240 out there that stolen in my book bag. As I rode through the street, car hit me, knocked me off the bike, man. Tore the bike up. I think I flew about 20 feet and it came down. And chipped my eyeball before I got the scar here. Well, part of this accident, man, I think the light, man. Everything was dark. I seen the light. And in this light was a voice. And the voice told me, he said, son, you're going to be all right. And I sit back and I reflect. I said, I know it wasn't the damn police. I ain't the police, son. I'm John Doe to them. You know, and it took me a while to get, and then it came to me again. But it wasn't nothing but my high power to telling me I'm going to be all right. Despite what I done, he gave me another chance of life. You know, putting narcotics numbers in my life, you know, because I couldn't put shit else in there. I tried everything, but he said, you're going to try this. So I did. You know, he put it in there. I've been with it ever since. But I am truly grateful today, man. And I've been in numerous accidents, man. I'm still here today. So what that's telling me? Telling me that I must be the chosen one. Because I should have been dead. I should have actually been dead, man. I should have been kind of, dang, why you keep giving me this grace? You keep giving me this grace because, you know, deep down inside within me, that I ain't such a bad person that I thought I was. You know, I made bad shit when I was young. I ain't such a bad person at all. You know, and drugs kicked my ass so motherfucking bad. I hate drugs now. I see a dope boy saying, I'm getting mad at him. I be ready to do something to him. You know what I mean? I be like, goddamn, you know how you keep killing everybody, and you get the joy out of it. You know, but like I say, I know how you feel. I just be that same guy. I just sell drugs. I do the same damn thing he's doing. Who to me the choose? I mean what's it called? Yeah. Who would me to do that? I mean, I used to be just like that. I remember times I used to see a bum walking down the street. I said, shit, fucked up. I was so fucked up than him. He could never be fucked up. I lived in abandoned buildings, man. My actions took you to the extreme. I lived in abandoned buildings. I know what it's like to feel like a rat. I used to be a rat. I used to eat off the ground, do all that shit, man, to try to survive. I know how the shit feels. It ain't a good feeling. I had a nice ass home. I left all that for all this crazy mission because of my addiction, man. Like I said, I was addicted when I was born. My father was an alcoholic, you know, and that shit carried on with me. You know, so today I know that the shit that I had, man, I had when I was little. But one thing I know that I got narcotics numbers in my life, and I got some support now. You know, I got that something that I was looking for when I couldn't get it. And I found it in narcotics numbers, man. And like I say, I know this program works, man. It's been, you know, I've been in and out of it, but now since I bumped my head the last final time, this shit is working for me, man. And like I say, I'm real grateful to be here. And I go other places, I talk to other recovering people, and I try to share my experience with hope with them because, you know, there's a lot of shit I got inside me. You know, I still suffer from, you know, pain's still there. But one thing about it, I'm clean today. You know, I remember times when I went to a treatment center. I don't know. They called me in 2 weeks, man. I couldn't make it past 2 weeks. Every time I got up out of that damn treatment center, I could not stay clean. After 2 weeks period, I was fucked up. I was backing into the same old shit. I had went to the cat house, the treatment center, right? What's funny about this, to show you how God works. When I went the first time, you know, got clean for about a week. I got out, relapsed, went right back and got the same damn bed. I said, well, goddamn, I should might as well just stay in the bed. I got the same exact bed in the same damn room. I said, God damn. God was speaking to me then, but as that like me, I don't want to see that shit, you know. But not only that, you know, like I said, I've been up in the joint, and that's where I think I really got back in touch with God, man. Cause, you know, God was with me all the time. I left Him, you know. Once I stopped doing what I had to do, you know, I put myself back into all that pain, that misery again, man. I can't blame nobody but my damn self, you know. And they couldn't pay me to go back out there and use to pick up again. They can't pay me to be part of that misery and that pain. Like, I don't want that shit no more. I don't want that shit no more, man. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, man, keep going to meetings every day and take the damn cotton out my head, put it in my mouth and listen. You know, but I didn't do that shit at first. I thought I knew every damn thing. I ain't know shit. They say, I called myself a player. Yeah, I was a player. I got played out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, today I don't choose to be that. I choose to be a human being, you know, and I have a love within me that is overwhelming, man. It don't matter who you is. I don't care what you are, who you are. I'm still gonna love you because God told me to. And when I don't listen to my higher power, I fucked up all over you know, and I have to put everything in his hand, man, and let him, like the brother was saying, I gotta let him do it. I can't do this shit alone. I done tried this shit. You know, they talk about changing one drug from another. I done did all that shit. Oh, well, let me start smoking some weed. I ain't gonna fuck nothing else. Shit. I'm right back doing my same drugs, smoking that crack. Oh, shit, I know what was wrong. Coming to Saturday thing, I know what's wrong. I said, smoke no weed. I'm just gonna drink alcohol. But it says in there, alcohol is the drug. And I said, well, fuck this. I'm tired of this pain, baby. I don't want no more of this shit. I'm gonna leave all this shit alone. Maybe I'll come out better. And ever since I did that, man, it has been better. You know, and like I said, I owe it all to North Carolina and to my higher power, man. Because one thing North Carolina's done for me is planted a seed in my head, and it grows every time I come in this room. You know, and my spirit is always high when I come here, man. It's been a pleasure that I'm here today, man. And matter of fact, since I've been clean today, I've been clean 9 months, but I'm able to go around the world, man. I'm able to travel. I couldn't do that shit no years. I would spend that damn money real quick and fast. Before I get it, soon I get it, be gone. You know. Now I would actually out there using drugs. We try to take one piece of money and try to separate it. Get this to so and so, get this to so and so. Shit, all that shit went the same way it went. You know, I'm tired of giving my money. I'm tired of buying a dope man a new car. I'm tired of buying a dope man a new jumpsuit. Now I'm walking around here with fucked up shit on. I'm tired of doing these crazy, insanity things, man. And I don't longer want to do that shit today, man. I want to live for North Carolina, man. I'm just going to be, when I die today, I actually want Steve Johnson. I remember North Carolina, that's what I want on my grave. And he was clean and sober, just for the day. You know what I mean? And I started taking the suggestions that they gave me this time, man. I got me a sponsor. I started going to meet. Even though someday I don't feel like going to meet. You know, it's just, excuse me, I say I'm too damn tired. I remember many nights I was tired of motherfucking. I'm like, I caught that dope, man. You know, I chased that damn drug. If I was on crutches, I was chasing that damn drug. So, you know, if I'm sitting there, I'm gonna go to a meeting, regardless of what. You know, until God ready for me to leave this world, I'm gonna live up to what I'm supposed to in North Carolina, because I know this program really works. It has blessed me in certain areas of my life that I know this shit works. And when I don't recognize that and acknowledge it, you know, I go back to my old faith that I got this shit together. I got this shit together. You know what I mean? I can get this shit, but I would never know this shit. I can work the steps and keep on going. Everlasting process for me. You know, because if I go through these 12 steps, goddammit, within 6 months, something is wrong with me. For real. Something's very wrong with me, because this shit is everlasting. You know, and I know that shit today, and I'm glad to have brothers and sisters in North Carolina that I can love, that I can get that unconditional love and that care, you know, because I didn't have that shit in our love. You know, I never seen my father, you know. Matter of fact, since I haven't seen my father yet. I talked to him. You know, I just got the joint. I talked to him. I ain't seen him yet. I tried to see him a couple cases, but he had to go through something. And I never just see him. But I still love my father today. And I'm always love my father and my mother, because those are two most important people in my life. You know, and my mom was like my ace in the hole, and she been with me all my pain, baby. I took her through. My mom told me, her birthday came up, she said, son, you know what would be my best birthday present? I'm thinking, well, I get a job or I do this, such and such. She said, stay clean, stay with me for that's my best birthday present. For mom to tell me that, that's what I want. I don't want to hurt my mom. I don't want to hurt myself no more. I'm tired of taking everybody through this same shit, man. I've been through so much shit, boy. Sometimes I feel like blowing the damn trigger, but I'm too damn scared to do it. You know, I don't want to die today. If I do die today, I want to die clean and sober today. You know, because this program really works, man. And like I say, I'm glad to see everyone that made it to this place, man. And those who missed out, I hope to see them in another one. Because, like, you know, the spirit is in here today, man. And, you know, and I feel it every time I come through this block. It's a good feeling. You know, it's about one of the best highs I've had, you know, in my recovery. Because I know I was fucked up when I was out there. You know, and I thrive on Narcotics Anonymous, man. And this is a part of me. It's going to be a part of me until I die, man. Because I want what they have to offer. You know, and I will not let this go. Because no amount of money, no woman, no nobody. It got to come first. And I thank y'all for allowing me to share.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Keep coming back. We got time for one quick one.
My name is Gerald.
Hey, Gerald.
I'm grateful to be here and I'm grateful to be clean. I want to thank the speakers. I want to thank my higher power for allowing me to be here today. Clean and having another chance at recovery. I've been around this program a while, and I was one of those addicts that was in that revolving door for quite some time. There's a lot of stuff I buried. I tried to bury deep down inside, things I did. There's some things I need to get off my chest, and I think I'm going to attempt to try to get some of this off of me today. When I was a younger kid, I molested two of my cousins. And I tried to bury that. I've been burying it with drugs for so long. I've never done it since that. But I did that. It's something that I always told around me that I didn't want to tell nobody about. I came around this time and I've been able to stay clean sometimes. And I finally got me a sponsor this time and I'm finally taking suggestions and I'm starting to work a program this time. But for me, staying clean is just not enough. I got to work this program if I want to live. I'm just grateful that my higher power allowed me another chance. The guys that spoke this morning gave me a lot of hope, gave me a lot of courage. I know when I woke up this morning, and I thank my higher power just for allowing me to wake up, I was enthused to get into this meeting this morning. I was ecstatic. I'm type of person, it's kind of hard for me to get out of myself and ask for help. I heard something that somebody else said today. All I want is somebody to love me. That's all I want. You know, I think I want to learn how to love other people too. My father left me when I was a young teenager too, and the anger, the resentment I had behind that, I carried it around for 20-some years. sorry motherfucker didn't help me. He didn't help my mama. I had nobody there to show me how to be responsible. You know what? I still call that sorry motherfucker today. And ask him how he doing. But that's my daddy. And everything I see my daddy do, I said I was going to do. And goddamn it, I didn't do it. Like my daddy hurt me, I hurt my damn children. Like my daddy hurt my mama, I hurt the women in my damn life too. You know, I'm sick of that shit. Man, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be alive today.
Love you, man.
Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for
Thanks for sharing.
And, I'm an addict. My name is Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
We are seekers, our secrets. I'll tell you, the only way that I can have an ongoing recovery in my life is to clean the wreckage of my past and to practice those spiritual principles that are in the steps. I tell you, recovery for me is not about wishing and dreaming. This is not a magic program, and I'm not a master magician. It's about prayer, and it's about taking action, standing up for yourself. It's the only way it's going to work. And if you do that, there's more to be revealed. And thanks for letting us share it. I'll keep going back.
Please close on time with our gratitude speaks when we care and when we share with others in any way.
All right.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please help us improve our ranking so others can find us by putting a review on Stitcher, iTunes, or your favorite podcast index. Napod is ad-free thanks to the folks supporting the show with $1 or more per month. If you enjoy listening, you can join them by going to napod.xyz and looking for the donate link. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.